Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and today we are going to be doing a makeup tutorial. My everyday makeup tutorial look. I go for very sleek, very minimal, but I will show you guys what's in my bag, and also along this journey I will be showing you how I do my makeup routine. So let's get into it. Okay, so here's my makeup bag. And as you can see, I travel with it. There's so many different things. I've had it for a while. But today we are doing this makeup routine. This is the holy grail of everything. I'll let you guys know, and I'll try, and each product that I hold up, I'll try and put pause. I'll try and sit here and put like what the item is, what shade and everything in it. So first we have to take the glasses off. First, that needs to be said. I have on lashes today. Doing my lashes just makes everything a little bit simpler when doing my makeup. But today in my everyday makeup, I really only use a little bit of products. So this video is going to be very short because on my everyday makeup, I don't use like foundation and things like that. I tend to use only my concealer, and then for my brows I use this Gots to Be. But let us get started. My powder explodes every time in my bag, so that's why my bag looks like this. But I have a lot of different things that I use. One of the things that I use when I don't have on lashes is the Chanel, I forget what it's called. I've had it for a while and I use it a lot, and I always like redo it and then use it again and buy it again. But this is the Chanel, hold on, let me put my glasses on because I actually can't see. This is the Chanel base mascara. So I don't know if you guys know, it's like a mascara that you put on first to protect your lashes before you do the actual mascara. And the mascara that I use normally is Better Than Sex, and then I also include that with the Tarte Man Eater, and then on top of that I use my Ilia mascara, which is more of a volumizing as the touch. But anyways, let's get started. So the first thing on the agenda when I'm doing my makeup, the first thing that I do is make sure you have on earrings. When you go out, you need to make sure you have some type of earrings on when you're doing the makeup, because that'll like really show when you're like out and full glammed up and everything. So now that that's in there, I start with a concealer. So I have two different concealers. So I have the concealer ColourPop. I've had it for a while. It's pretty fresh, and it's the creamy concealer in the shade Dark 180N. And so when I take this, I have a reddish undertone. So I take this and I usually go here with it, and then I go here with it. This is usually how I do mine. And then I do that, the same thing. I just got that in my eye. Sorry, I don't have a mirror. I'm using this camera. Hold on. I think this has a mirror in the inside, but let me show you. Yes, it does. So this is something, can you tell I use it a lot? This is Beauty Creations Natural Creamy Blend. I got this from Marshall's because I've just started recently doing my contour, and I use that shade all the way at the bottom, as you can see. And so what I do is I put this concealer on lids, and this is the concealer that I use for my lids. Now, I use a second concealer, which is the LA Girls Pro Concealer High Definition Concealer, and it's in the shade Chestnut. And this is the shade that I use like down here and like over my mustache if I have like little hairs, and then I do a little bit up here for when I'm about to do like, if I do my brows or anything like that. And so I don't use a beauty blender. I actually use the Beauty Creations. It came with a like buffing in a like concealer brush type thing. I don't know. But I use this first. I use the smaller side to really just pat everything down to make it look seamless. And then I pat in the inner corner and we kind of go like this and we just blend. And I start with the bottom first and then I go in with the buffing like the end to like make everything blend in. I buff with a bigger brush. I do that. And so then it kind of looks seamless. But then I go into, after I'm done doing this, I start with concealer. I tend to don't like, a lot of people start with foundation or eyeshadow, all those different things. But me, I start with, 1 second. Okay guys, we're back. We got a little concealer like in my eye. And stuff, but back to what we were doing. I wiped it out, so let me just put the back here. Oh, 1 second, I'll be back. I forgot the palette in the bathroom. Okay, we're back. Technical difficulties. So then I usually blend these things, my concealer, underneath my eye. Sorry, I'm looking in the mirror. And I make sure all of that is blended like underneath my eye. Blended at the top. Blended on the bottom. And so it looks seamless. Then what I do is I then take my Gots to Be Glued brow and edge gel. So I mainly just use this for my brows, but I just scoop my brows up like so, and just to give them a little leg up, and then I kind of like shape them to my liking. And sometimes what I'll do is I will conceal around them, and when I conceal around them, it kind of like makes it like a full brow without having to sit here and for me to just sit here and do my entire brows. I can make another video with like doing a brow tutorial if you guys comment below that you want that. But mainly when I'm rushing in the morning and things like this, I just try to stick to just doing the brows like so. And sometimes I'll put concealer around the brows to like make them more snatched and more professional. But I do have the Anastasia Beverly Hills foundation. Now, I don't use foundation like that, so I use this as my concealer for my brows sometimes. Like sometimes I'll mix them, but today we're not doing that. And then I take my little like palette or whatever, and what I will do is, and I use the same brush for this. Don't come at me in the comments. I'm not one of them people who have 50 different brushes. But I take this bottom one. You can tell I use it a lot. I take this bottom one and I actually have started like contouring my nose recently. And I've been contouring my nose and, you know, just doing this because, not gonna lie, the nose be looking snatched. And then when I contour, not yet, but I also contour here, and then I'll contour here, and then I'll put some here, here, and here. Now if I'm doing my brows, like if I'm fully using pomade, like I use pomade for my brows, I don't use a pencil. So you have to like be very light-handed with these things. But if you guys want me to do a separate tutorial on how I do my brows, 2 different types of ways I do them, I will do a video on how I do my brows, the quick way and the cheap way and the fast way, and then I'll show you guys the longer way as well. I have a few different concealers. Like I've also tried the Halo Beauty what is it called? Smashbox concealers. I really like that concealer because it feels light as well. But today I usually stick with my ColourPop Pretty Fresh and my LA Girls concealer mostly. But now that we did that, we contour the nose, and we also sit here and we contour the side. Now for me, I'm contouring the side because I do not use foundation, so my stuff is pretty much my concealer is my foundation. And so we contour here. And I'm not a beauty guru, but this is what I do for my makeup. I just contour the side, kind of making the jaw that I want. And I kind of go like this. To really get the look that I want. And then when I'm done contouring, like for my contour, I usually go along the cheekbone. And then what I will do is I go in and I go make sure it's very deep, because I want you to notice that I'm contouring. But then I use my brush on the other end to brush it down and go like this to make sure that everything is like blended. So I'm gonna do that. And again, this is just how I do mine. This is just how I contour and make mine look snatched. Once that is done, I usually do the top of my head as well. So I'm gonna show you guys. I take the same contour. That's probably why it's like this, is because this is the only contour I really use in this palette. And I just go along the top and the sides, the top and the sides, my forehead, and then the other side. And I just use like 2 strokes most of the time. And then I go and I do circular motion, like for the top and the sides and everything, just to make sure like everything's just blended really well. I like to brighten up. I like to darken my surroundings and make them sharp. And then in the eye area and the other areas of my face, I tend to make them lighter and brighter. And that's normally what I do. And again, all of this is, I do a seamless look every day. So all of these are like, you barely can see that I have any makeup on. And that's what I like to have, like to make it seem like I have no makeup on. Then I take a smaller brush and I conceal the nose. So you can sit here and I just take a small brush. Sometimes I don't have a lot of brushes, so I kind of use the same brushes for a lot of the same things. Sometimes I'll use my finger to really just make sure all this is blended at the top, like so. And that it's a snatched nose. Once that's done, we go into with our e.l.f. Cameo foundation. What is this? e.l.f. Cameo Powder Foundation in the shade Medium. 375 is the shade. And I take this, and mine broke like right away, as you can see. But I usually shake it around a little bit. There's a pad that comes underneath, but I like to use a brush like this to like evenly distribute it throughout. So I just dab, dab, dab like so, knock a little bit off, dab, knock a little bit off, and I I don't know how, like, I would say I bake, but I don't, I guess. But I pat this in all underneath here. And let me get my mirror out so I make sure this looks good. I pat this underneath my eye, and as you can see, I like try to keep it flat and like try to make sure I'm patting everything in. And I kind of do like this, and you can tell the difference between this and being patted in, and then you can tell the difference between my other side. But I pat that in just to give myself, I like a matte finish. If you don't like a matte finish and you like a more of a, how do you say, glossy or finish, then I would not suggest using this. I tend to like a matte finish along my like underneath. There's a lot of different powders. Like some people use like translucent powders and all of that. I really don't use all of that. But I pat that in. Sometimes on my nose I'll put a little highlighter. But when I'm going a natural look, I usually don't try to put on a lot of things that show that I have makeup on. And so I just pat that all in. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not the best beauty guru to do everything, because I sit here and I guess you could say I double bake, I guess. So I put that first one on, and then sometimes I put the first one on and then I do my blush. Sometimes I'll sit here, I'll do my blush after I baked already. But I use the Sweet Cheeks LA, oh no, what is this? I use the Sweet Cheeks NYX Professional Soft Cheek Tint. It's a blush mousse, I guess. This lasted me forever. I've had it for like over the last 2 years, and I just go like this, and it comes on like a orangey, but when you blend it, it gives me like the perfect shade. And so I put that on here, and then what I will do is I blend that in with another brush. So the brush that I use to bake is the contour brush, because I don't use it for my contour. We are not traditional MUAs. We do what we have to do to get the look that we want. And then for my blush, I use my buffing brush on my blush. So I kind of go like this and make sure all of it is like blended into the cheek. And I used my buffing brush, but you know, I digress. You can use the brushes that you want to use, but for me, this isn't good for me as a blush brush. So I like to use this to really just get them rosy cheeks in. And you do that. So for me, this is basically done. But then what I do is I put my, hold on y'all, I put my Ulta Beauty Mineral Powder Foundation. This lasts me forever, so I don't know if you can get it in, I think you still can get it in stores, but I don't think it looks like this. Ooh, I don't think it looks like this anymore. I tend to just keep it, and like it's lasted me so long and I still have like so much left because I only put a little bit on. I cut it, I poke holes with a safety pin to like do it like that, and then once I get like this little bit on my thing, I take my contouring brush that I used before, I take that and I bake the sides again. So I bake this a second time just to make sure everything is good, just to make sure I really like what I'm seeing. And this actually helps me a lot because I get a lot of bags in the morning, so it helps me a little bit. And so then we just try and this, right? So this is what I have, and basically after I'm done that, really my makeup is finished. I only like to do a very light, if you guys want to see me like a full face glam, I will do that. But then I just take my elf power grip dewy setting spray, and I just spray that on there like so. And then I'll go in better lighting so you guys can really see. This is why I like to really do light, because in certain lighting you don't want to look like a ghost or this or that. But let me show you guys. Okay, let me get my glasses because I can hardly see. But then the makeup looks like this. Very seamless, very cute. To me, I love it because I don't like a big face on. If I'm going out, I do use, let me show you guys. So I use the e.l.f. What is this? e.l.f. Glow Reviver Lip Oil. This is my holy grail. I just get it over and over. But with this, you can just pop it on here. Let me show you. Let me get you guys at a different angle. You can just kind of go like this, and you have yourself like a finished gloss, cute, girly look. And you can do it without the lashes. My glasses cover up a lot of my face, but I can give you guys a tutorial of like my full glam, like me going out. But this is just everyday glam that I put on when I'm going to college. I'm moving fast. I'm in the morning. It's 6 a.m. I'm not trying to do anything intricate. So that is my full glam look. If you guys like the video, that would be great. And if you want more of these videos, comment a blue heart if you guys like this type of content. Like, I'm dabbling into short form content as well as I have my long form content. But I hope you guys like this video. I'm gonna be doing so much more short term content. I have some day in the life, not day in the life. I was editing a video. But I have a vlog that I'm going to do, like college advice, what I would have done before I went to college, what do I suggest, all these other things. So be on the lookout for my girlies who like the short form content. More is coming out. But for my people who like my long-term content, we're still on that too. But if you like this video, comment a blue heart, like I said, and I will see you guys soon. Bye!